Oh,
Oh, oh,
okay. Four
okay.
green heroes,
Yeah,
John. We're on our way. We're almost there. One more
yep,
pickup,
yep.
and your dream finally comes true, and you can retire as a Dota 2 analyst forever. We'll see. We'll see if it does happen. So,
we've gotten some all red drafts before, not recently, but within the past
no, but
year
you
or two,
push it
we had
every
all
time.
red.
You push
It
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 though.
is red. Like the only thing I push is like Shaker. That's the one that you always argue about. It's like, is he really red? It's like, yeah, the parts of his skin that's not coated in fur is red. So Shaker's red. I count Shaker drafts as red. The only green heroes left for the cut: Venomancer, Necrophos, and well, Pugna, I guess, but you don't want that. Venomancer,
Don't
Necros,
you?
Viper is a choice. Pugna, I mean, you could go mid. It's a free disarm against the Monkey King. Super squishy. If you don't have your Decrep and Tusk rolls onto, you're dead. Just straight up dead. And you already have the edict out from the Oracle to mitigate some magic damage. So not the best value here. There is some value in maybe just getting the Pugna to sustain your Medusa, but that's going all in on a very weird synergy that you don't benefit from too well, unless you want to just pick the Pugna up for push. NP plus Pugna can melt towers fast still, so that is one way to approach it for the cut. They might still be eyeing, a solid mid here, unless they give Lil Nick a mid Nature's Prophet, which he could play. It just doesn't feel like the kind of hero he'd enjoy. He loves his Spirit Brothers, so Void Spirit still on the table, should still be feasible for the cut to pick up. I don't think there's room for Earth Spirit mid, which is really the only Spirit Brother who's green. So the mid pickup will probably break
There's
up this green
always room,
pattern,
John.
Mike.
There's always room for the Earth Spirit. Whether teams pick it up or not, it's entirely different story, but there's always room for a good Earth Spirit. But I do agree, it probably won't be picked up, unfortunately. Still, I don't think... I'm already assuming this Deucer might be mid, but SG Esports don't believe that. And in all fairness, it doesn't really suit Lil Nick's playstyle, right? Because he usually is the tempo setter for the team. So giving him something slow like a Medusa isn't really going to be his kind of fit. I guess maybe you're right. It probably will be a mid pick for the last pick here for the cut. And SG Esports for that matter. Just depending on where this MK is going to go. We never really talked about the Monkey King versus Medusa matchup, but that isn't very fun for the Monkey King. Sure, if you get a nice Wukong's off and you've got the Aghanim Scepter and you're right next to the Medusa, maybe you're doing okay. But once she pops that Stone Gaze, things can get quite rough for the Monkey King, and that's assuming you've broken the gap and you've gotten close enough to her.
Yeah, the one thing the Monkey King does have going for it is the Oracle combo. So False Promise means that you can stand and fight a lot better. You've got Lifesteal from Jingu stacks once it procs. So there is some way for the Monkey King to play around that, just if you don't get caught by the Stone form. So that is something to watch out for. The cut do close out with Void Spirit. Lil Nick's hero was left in the pool. They just pick it up. So 4 green heroes plus a purple one. I can't stretch Void Spirit as green. There's no way. There's no way. Unless he gets, like, say,
No,
an
John.
immortal item or an
That's
arcana.
enough. You've
Maybe.
missed it. The
Maybe.
opportunity's gone, John. Let it be. Let it die. SG Esports. Final pickup. Mid hero or safe lane, either one. If you want to run the MK mid up against the Void Spirit, obviously it looks pretty darn good right now. And you might want something else up against the Medusa for that position 1 anyway. Question is, what do you want?
I feel like the Monkey King against Tide is pretty good lane for the Monkey, though. That's something he can sustain. He doesn't care for Anchor Smash in the same way that Ursa doesn't, because he still gets Jingu stacks, and then he gets a bonus damage and lifesteal anyway.
Okay.
So if they want to just have a good time in safe lane, Monkey King is probably a safe bet to toss against a Tide Hunter Rubik combo. Still annoying, mind you. It's not going to be easy either way, but the Monkey does handle it rather well. They go with the Alk, which should be our mid, unless, of course, it could be run safe. No, it is going to be our safe. 4DR is taking the Monkey King mid, so Monkey against Void Spirit. I believe that was the one time we saw Void Spirit sort of struggle. Of course, Lil Nick had a rough time in game 1 with Kunkka as his foe. Monkey King's going to apply that same pressure, but we'll see if 4DR can actually close it out and give Lil Nick a death this time.
Well, I like the laning stage so far for SG Esports. I mean, we talked about the mid Monkey up against the mid Void. Obviously favors the Monkey King. Offlane Mars generally doesn't struggle too much even up against the Medusa. Mystic Snake can be slightly annoying because you already have a terrible mana pool as it is, but you're probably not going to die. And even the safe lane, while the Tide Rubik is going to be pretty annoying in terms of being able to get CS, you're going to have Acid Spray. That's going to help you out quite a bit. And eventually you're just going to go to the jungle and you're not really going to care. And overall, with the Alchemist up against Medusa, it's kind of the exact opposite, right? You have a guy that's going to be able to just get online in 15-20 minutes and be super aggressive as a position 1. And then you can have this Medusa position 1 that just wants to sit back and farm forever. What is it, John? You've seen something.
I'm looking at Costabila's set. It's ugly. It's an ugly Alk set.
How dare you?
It's the Frankenstein set. It looks so wanky. It's like the flat top head, this weird mechanical jaw.
Isn't
I don't
that
like
the Halloween set?
Yeah,
The
I think it is,
Dietyne
and
set?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
don't
And he
like it?
turns purple. Look at that. Like he's already purple. because
I
of his
like
suit.
it. It makes sense. It's Frankenstein and Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein and his monster.
Yeah, I get why. It's just, it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing to me. I guess that's the point, though, right? Like, he's supposed to look monstrous, and he does. It's just, it's really monstrous to me. I'm disappointed Pingu doesn't have the dad bod set. I kind of miss that set. Every other time we see Tide in Southeast Asia, they've got the stomach sticking out. They've got this disgusting tentacles. He's got an octopus on his head. None of that this time, which is mildly disappointing. Like I said, I hated the set. Now I kind of miss it.
We also I just realized, John, that Pingu is on the Tide. That's a POS 5 Tide then.
Okay. This is spicy.
Yeah, so then it's going to be a position 3 Prophet, which it is. Tinker
Yeah.
King's making his way to the safe lane for now. So they're going to run an aggressive tri-lane here with the POS 5 Tide and position 4 Rubik. I guess if you're going to run a tri-lane with the Medusa, it still works because you still have the combo of Rubik Tide. And it's going to be quite hard to slow this Medusa down in any way if they are going to maintain a tri-lane. Of course, the Prophet doesn't need help. He can do the lane by himself perfectly fine.
Yeah, and this is one way to kind of take out that Tide lane, because the Monkey King would have just absolutely domineered. Tide doesn't need to worry about losing his lane matchup if he's just a support. So we'll see how much value they can get out of this. Of course, Pingu does go for level 1 Gush, as you tend to see on support Tides. Allows for more aggression, but there's a bit of a clump up here from SG as well.
And Pingu doesn't know about it yet. He's going to find out the hard ways. The Fortune's End is going to fly through with the Acid Spray and the tag team. And Pingu is not going to survive. They will give Costa Belair the first blood to boot. That's the best start you could have asked for an Alchemist. His farm is going to escalate that much faster now.
Yeah, and they're going to find themselves a good amount of bounty runes here, as well as the cut are not going for any of them. Leaving the bot ones alone, leaving the top ones alone. Should be a 4 bounty rune start, which would have been amazing for an Alch, but you tend to go for the Acid Spray level 1. Costabila did throw it out in that fight, so they're not getting additional value there, but that gold injection is still big. And it looks like they will maintain these tri-lanes for a bit more. It's Heal the Core just checking out the movements first. They've already got a forward ward. KJ's around as well to maybe disrupt and try to punish this Tide. Tide level 1 as a support is just terrible. Level 1, level 2, even level 3 is just kind of jank. So it's not much presence you can expect here from Pingu.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a gushing machine. And as well as that, when you look at the opposing tri-lane of Oracle Tusk and, of course, Alk, it doesn't look very good in comparison, right? Like, you've got Tag Team, which is the king of tri-lanes when you talk about spells. And they're going to be looking for any moment to try and make the jump in. Heal the Core is going to take a bit of damage here and can't really underestimate the tankiness of Pingu, even at level 1. He's already sitting at 740 HP. And now both teams just going to back away from each other, give each other some space. Which gives us some space to look at the mid lane, where we do see 4DR up against Lil Nick. And speaking of Lil Nick, he's getting very aggressive onto 4DR. Doesn't really have enough to kill him off, but we'll be able to force him back quite nicely. Not give him some peace to just CS some creeps.
Yeah, and the creep wave's just under the tower, and 4DR can't really maximize that moment. There isn't mana left on Lil Nick. I mean, he has enough to throw 1 spell out, but that is all that's left in tank, so 4DR should be able to find a little bit more here. Still a good start for Lil Nick overall. 5-2 though. 4DR just finding a few more, but that's because his wave is just about to hit that tier 1 on the opposite side. So Lil Nick should be able to catch up. Power runes a lot more important for Lil Nick, as he is going for the bottle, although...
Yeah, that's what I talked about, John. The tag team from Heal the Core. If he manages to get in range, which is not going to be difficult because you've got Fortune's End from KJ, it's a guaranteed kill no matter who it is.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. You know, the Medusa level 1 is just not very tanky. Doesn't even have level 2 yet, so it's just going to be easy to rip through. This tri-lane is hurting a lot, although...
Yeah, they're just going to settle for Vol here. I think they would have loved to get Scourge again and make him walk back. They might lose Theo. They'll be alright with that, though. Just making it as hard as possible for the cut, while giving Costabile the freest lane of his life. He's currently sitting at 13-0, just not really missing any CS.
This is going to be tricky to deal with. Like, this constant application of pressure from a Tide support, I mean, he's just going to bleed out like this and not get EXP.
He'll survive this time. Luckily for him, KJ was not level 3, so he didn't have the level 2 Purifying Flames. Costabile, he messed up that pull a little bit for KJ. Did pull it towards the right side. Still, Pingu sticking around. Didn't respect that Theo Lacour had respawned and is going to die. SG Esports playing this tri-lane pretty much perfectly so far.
Yeah, it's shaping up badly for the cut. This is such a good start for SG. They're finding so much more on Costabile. Scourge McDuck is just not finding the last hits, and they can't even try to get these kills when the wave is so close to the tower because they're so scattered out. Even the bot lane here, right? Like Tingle King up against Tavo is not shaping up all too well for Tingle King. Tavo is just finding all the last hits. He can clear out the Treants with a God's Rebuke, and he has an early bottle up to sustain that spell spam. So none of the lanes so far working out all too well for the cut, except maybe mid.
It's not exactly a favorable lane matchup for Tingle either, right? Like, usually the Prophet destroys the lane 1v1, but up against the Mars, who has the Bulwark to just clear out waves, or rather the God's Rebuke, it's not really too hard. And Tingle, he's actually got him underneath the tier 1 tower, trying to man-fight this, but Tavo is happy to fight back, but he's dropping low and he's got no way out. He has to go all the way. Tingle is going to reveal himself, however, and Tavo is going to be able to get the kill, but now the creep block is there. But it's not going to matter. They don't have the damage. And the Rubik tried to TP Vol. He's going to get caught out trying to TP Pingu. Also being caught out, might just drop to boot. And he does. Everything going wrong so far for the cut.
It's a really hard game to bounce back when you have this kind of laning start. And I mean, we talked about Little Nick maybe having a good lane. It looks like 40R is really pulling ahead. 20 with 11 denies. That's a lot of EXP being taken out from Little Nick. He still has a good amount of EXP up though, but walking up here.
Oh, Little Nick, no mana, no steps yet. Still level 5, but has he saved himself? No, not quite. Nice shots out by Theo Lacour. He'll try and survive just with that Fairy Fire and juking them out of the tree line, but he is eventually going to go down. KJ and Theo Lacour, a very strong support duo, just roaming around the map and creating all kinds of chaos. This does leave Costabile alone up at the top lane. He needs to be somewhat careful. But in all fairness, they don't really have the lockdown to kill him with a position 5 Tide.
No, you just don't have anything to play with right now for the side of the cut. And, you know, we're not even talking about the implications of this Tide down the line. He needs level 6 to be up. He needs items to flow in. He's going to be sapping some farm away, either in a side lane at risk or in the jungle, sapping away from potential farm for Scourge.
Tavo, great arena setup. Theo Lacour with a nice rotation in, and that'll be your Nature's Prophet dying to boot. It just goes from bad to worse now as we are in a 1-9 kill score. 2k net worth lead, of course, for SG Esports. 4DR not even allowing Little Nick to just get that Arcane Rune. Just continues this harassment of the Void Spirit, who is still level 5. Just can't even get close to a creep wave.
It's tough right now for the side of the cut. Now, SG Esports playing so damn perfectly here, winning out every lane, finding all these objectives. Level 6 now up on Armoras, of course, with a year earlier on. Theo Lacour now breaking that tri-lane, so there might be room to breed up top, but that does mean there's so much pressure now applied onto Tingle King. Still trying to save up, is going for the Orchid Rush as we tend to see. Not going to be the fastest one this time around, considering how hard this lane is. And SG, well, with the space given out, Costabile has 6, can dip into that jungle, saving up for the Battle Fury next. And this is when the Alex starts to really pick up its pace. There are some stacks to clear out as well. One really small stack to the clear out, although Lil Nick checks.
KJ gonna be fine as 4DR does join in this team fight, and looks like Pingu is gonna be the target. A rather easy target as well, as they just pop the tag team and he just can't get out. Meanwhile, Lil Nick still in danger. Costabile does not have the unstable concoction, so he'll be able to get away. But now top lane, they'll go after an even bigger target in the form of Scourge McDuck, and he is pretty much out of mana. He's gone. They'll take his courier as well if he's not too careful. KJ really wants that courier. He won't get it, but they do get the Medusa.
1-11, 3K lead for SG Esports. It's looking like a bit of a wash. There's going to have to be a miracle pulled out here for the cut. They need to play around Lil Nick's power spike. And, yeah, I mean, he's got levels. He's got level 6, probably wants level 7 first, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough damage. There's just so much saves out from SG Esports with the Tusk, with the Oracle, so much durability out with Monkey King and even the Alk and the Mars up front as well that there's not many opportunities here for Lil Nick.
That is disgusting from Theo. He uses the snowball, comes out into an Aether Remnant, but still outclicks Lil Nick for the regen rune. Absolutely disgusting play from our Tusk.
Yeah, just denying all the value out from Lil Nick. He hasn't been able to pick up any significant amount of power runes here as well, so not much value coming out from the bottle for him. Looks like the Cut are just going to try to dip into the jungle now, get some solid farm on Scourge McDuck, trying to rush the Manta style as we tend to see on the Medusas. They do have this area well protected. They've got a ward watching the spot and a sentry down as well to prevent any sort of obs plans from SG Esports end. But when you've got this kind of start for SG Esports, this is not going to be enough farm for Scourge McDuck to completely play catch-up. He's keeping up in farm relative to Tavo. You are seeing Costabile pull ahead though at 5k. It is an Alk. And the Battle Fury for our Alk, once that's up, which it will be in about 900 gold, that's when the farm really starts to kick in, and the Medusa can sort of keep up, but it doesn't feel like she'll keep up enough to really counteract the Alchemist just yet.
No, it doesn't feel that way at all, John. They've got to go after this mid-tier 1 tower, what they're trying to do, but bot lane, Vol has been caught. Tavo does pick up that kill, but the Cup, they are very focused in on just trying to get this tier 1 tower down. It's the only way they're going to open up the map and try to chase down this Alchemist around his jungle. But of course the defense is going to come in from SG Esports. They don't have the arena, so they're going to have to let the tower go. Ooh. Tavo, a very nice deny with the Mars. And while all that's happening, John Scourge has been caught. Snowball going to fly in. Theo going to turn his back for a second. So the Stone Gaze will save the life of Scourge this time around.
Yeah, it's a pretty long cooldown to commit though. 90 seconds up, so it's going to be a pretty big moment where Scourge McDuck is going to be vulnerable to any sort of gank attempts. That was a Valiant attempt, not quite it, but they could try again as they're clumping up here.
Looks like they are. No Stone Gaze now. Stun connects. They'll just dive the tier 1 for this. No reason not to. Tavo's going to come in from the side just in case they need it. They saw Lil Nick. He's going to jump in after Theo Lacour. It does get one, and he can still step away. Back in onto KJ, seeing if he can get any more value, but now he has no way out. Spear is not going to land, but the Fortune's End is in the Wukong's command. That is definitely not worth the Void Spirit's time. 4DR taking another kill on the Monkey, and SG Esports just looking so powerful this game number 2.
Yeah, they're just finding everything and more.
Tingle King, see you later, sir. No chance of survival for him. They can go after that bottom tier 1 for free now.
Yeah, they do not push as fast as the Nature's Prophet, but they've got a lot of damage on the Monkey and on their Alk. So it should still go down. Siege creep timing is here as well. So they're going to even out that map control just a bit. Of course, losing your mid-tier 1 still not as good, but you take what you can get. And the Cut, their map shrinks down, which is always painful for their side. They're still trying to get some EXP up. Pingu's on the edge of level 6, but Theo Lacour.
This is a very sad time for a position 5 Tidehunter. On the brighter side, John, at least we probably won't see position 5 Tide in our pubs, just based off how this is going. So that's good news. KJ.
Oh, KJ.
Getting caught out. Lil Nick does find a nice pick off, and they found some stacks. They need these desperately. We'll take them. If they can keep finding pickoffs like that and keep taking stacks away, you never know. But now Costabile's here. He's not too happy. He'll take down Pingu first. Tingle King just trapped up in the shards, also going to go down. Now the snowball straight into Vol. The arena and the spear all going to land on the Rubik, and that'll be another. Lil Nick still somewhat safe, but not 100% safe as the balance sprite comes in from 4DR. Theo LaCour pops the tag team, no steps away from Lil Nick, and he's going to die as well. 4 heroes down for the price of nothing. And they got the stacks, but it's not worth almost the full team wipe.
No, definitely not. You're seeing massive issues now for the cut. Like, when the acid sprays down and Theo is around, that Walrus Punch will just eat right through most of your heroes. The Rubik just melts. And for the cut now, it's all about trying to stall, because they need a blink up on Pingu. They need all this farm on Scourge McDuck. They also need that farm on Lil Nick, of course, who does need the Yule's up to really set up for himself. And there's just only so much map space to give out here. Look at SG. They've got all the space in the world for this Alchemist. Already has the Sanj up. They've got the Blink up on Tavo flying in. So the Blink Arena combination's there. The BKB's almost done for 40R. They're just finding all the answers in itemization. And the cut just have to share some measly jungle space for themselves and trying to get some farm going.
Yeah, the worst part is Theo LaCour was watching them the whole time. I believe he was within XP range as well, so he was sharing the XP with them. I've got to give it props to Theo LaCour this game. I mean, his task has been just so active and so impactful so far. In a real nuisance towards the side of the cut. Still the cut, not out of this game yet. Tavo comes in for a quick sticker. Bit of a banana phone. Nothing wrong with that. Or DR.
Oh, yeah.
Smoke up. Into the mid-tier 1 they go.
Oh,
and, oh, they found Lil Nick. That's a big one. There's even a double damage rune down at the bot rune spot to make matters worse, and I think 40R is just going to go ahead and pick that up. In fact, no Tavo, he bottles it up.
The cut are still trying to build up on this Dusa. At the least, Scourge McDuck is keeping up with 40R's farm, but Costabile is now 2 times that net worth. Has the blink up on the Alchemist. So you're hitting some very nasty spikes here on the Elk that they have not been able to punish. 4-0 so far for Costabile. Let's take a look at 40R. It's 5-0 as well. So just perfect game so far from these two cores. And just no punishment. Even Tavo is 5-0-3 right now. And they smoke up. They've still got this Blink Arena to play with.
Absolutely.
Well, at least the Blink Spear.
DR going to try and get the vision for his team. Of course, they are going to be fighting into a Ravage, but it doesn't really seem like they really care about that whatsoever. Pingu might have to just pop it straight away. Tavo has jumped in, but the Stone Gaze is there from Scourge McDuck. A great spear out straight onto the Alchemist, so Costabile could just blow him up with 4DR. No Ravage this team fight. Lil Nick just has to leave with the rest of his team. Have we even seen a Ravage this game yet?
Nope, not yet. There was an attempt in that jungle fight, but he just died way too fast. So, no, not a single Ravage yet. They do deny the farming pattern of Scourge McDuck.
Nick. No, no, no. Theo LaCour just perfect positioning from the Tusk. Waiting right on the low ground where he was going to step down, but Lil Nick, shards on point. Can they stun him? Not quite. He still manages to get away. Very close call for our Void Spirit once again. However, Arena going to be dropped straight onto the Rubik. Going to be Vol gone. Must buy a bit more time, but it won't matter. And now even the snowball straight towards Scourge McDuck. That's the one they want. There's your Ravage though. They might be able to turn this. Lil Nick, how much damage can you deal? Maybe not on the Wukong's command, he can't. They do get Pingu and Theo LaCour down. Scourge is still being chased down as well as 4DR. He's just not willing to back off. He pops his BKB, he gets the kill, but now he needs to run away from Lil Nick. But now, looks like he is going to be pretty darn safe. He does just jump away.
Yeah, and 4-24 now for SG Esports. the Cot are trying to look for some counterplays. Tingle King still saving up for his Orchid though. And before that Orchid's up, there's just no good control here. Like, their stuns are limited and they just have nothing.
Nick, Fortune's End. Follow him down. Alchemist stun is there. Costabile just going to have to settle. 4 Vol on the Rubik, and they do clean him up. Tingle. Oh, he's been caught out as well. A great spear there from Tavo. Tingle, he is at least on the low ground. He's going to try for the TP play again, but it's not going to work. Stabile with the Battle Fury easily getting through the Sprout. He's going to have that AC up very, very soon. In fact, Lil Nick, he is not out of the woods quite yet either. Spear not going to land, but he has no steps left. He's going to try and dissimulate his way out, but they have the control there with the stun. Even de-warding while he's just stunned up.
This is really bad for the Cut. SG Esports just playing perfectly all across the map, getting their farm up, denying farm away from the Cut. They go with this really greedy draft with the Tide 5, with the NP offlane, and with the Medusa. There's just not enough farm to sustain all of these heroes at once. And SG Esports are just abusing that. You think about this game down the line as well. Like, once Costabile is all geared up, with, say, this AC up and maybe one more item, they could start building Ags up for the rest of the heroes. You know, they could build the Ags for the Monkey King, feed that to him, feed it to TL Decor, feed it to Tavo, whoever. And there's just so much more scaling left for SG Esports that even finding these kills, like, look at Tingle King's worth, 339. It's not much anymore. That's just how far ahead SG Esports are.
Yeah, it's a very rough spot, this Radiant side. You saw the Prophet dying again, and it was just based off the gank from Thea Lacour. Costabile has vision, sees Vol, will go for the easy kill on the Rubik, and it is definitely going to be a very easy one at that. 5-0-11 now in the South. It's only set to get even worse.
Oh, yeah.
How's Scourge? He's got the Manta, that's it.
It's not enough. He needs the Scotty up as well, and even then, with the AC up on our Alchemist, he has a lot of armor to just stand there and take a hit, so it's not going to be remotely enough to start melting through most of these heroes. They go into the Roche pit now, and with all the minus armor they have on hand, the Roche is not going to last long. First Aegis of the game going the way of SG Esports. The Cut just forced to use this time to try and farm up, try and finish up their tier 2 items, which they do. But there's just not nearly enough time to really maximize the farm they need here.
It's easy Roshan. Easy Aegis for Costabile. They might just go for a quick smoke here with Theo. That they will. Straight down towards the bot lane. Like, no, they'll turn around for the triangle, it seems. Well, some of them did. But Costabile and Tavo, men of business, are going to go straight down bot with Thea Lacour. Stun already being charged up. Who do they want to start on? It looks like they want Scourge, but they have the Ravage in the back from Pingu, but they're not going to pop it. The Arena blocking him off, and they're going to take down the Medusa. Meanwhile, Theo just controlling up the Tidehunter. The Snowball is going to be there to follow him down, as they also have another in the form of Lil Nick. He's going to try and juke them out, but again, he has no Astral Steps available, and he is going to die. They'll let Pingu leave. They found the much bigger target.
Yeah, it's just perfect execution from SG Esports. They don't drop a single hero in that process. They're building up this lead more and more. Costabile is saving up now for his Swift Blink, which of course makes Alchemist very balanced. I hate Alchemist. When he gets that item, you can't do anything. You're behind this much. The Cut, it's going to take a miracle to bounce back in. Maybe they play high ground. They do have Ravage that can make or break their defense, but I don't think they're going to take any of these outer fights anymore.
That Swift Link is going to make it very, very hard. 20k net worth lead now. They may as well just try for the high ground. They have the Aegis. They're going to give it a shot. Vol will pop his own Chemical Rage now. We're going to do too much, but scare him off. Tavo. Oh, he's found a nice arena again. Tingle King cannot get himself out. It just gets worse and worse every time you look across the map. And now you've got a full Desolator up on the Monkey King as they are jumping Lil Nick. Do they have the control? They do. I mean, they're making it look easy right now, SG Esports.
They are. Just complete domination so far, 4-33. And they're just taking control of the map. The split push trying to come out from Tingle King, not enough to dissuade the movement of SG. And if they want to, they can play it slow. There's not a care in the world here. Costabile is inching closer towards that Eagle Song, 500 gold away. And then we have some great bounce fun with Swiftling.
Very, very soon, John. More Chemical Rage being stolen from the Arc. Tingle, he'll just keep up the split push up at this top lane, and that is one thing you can do, is just keep the split push going with the Shards on the Nature's Prophet. SG Esports for now are not backing off. They will TP in Thea Lacour to try and take care of this. And oh, he found the snowball! Oh, Tingle King, he's been caught out again. Can he TP out 40R? No, he gets the balance strike. Thea Lacour on this task, John, he's been all over the place. Just doing a great old job.
That he has. His laning presence really won them that top lane, tri-lane versus tri-lane. They get the space out to still shove in mid, and Costabile has the Swift Blink.
Pingu. Bye, Pingu.
Look at that. Look at that.
He's 4DR. Chasing down Lil Nick. Theo will be there as well to simulate. Back down to the low ground. Ash will step back up to the high ground. They seem to be reading all this. Oh, the snowball as well. Oh boy. Hey, he's styling on him, John. This task, he's just ruining them.
He really is. Like, that early lane combination was just way too much. Acid Spray plus Tag Team is such a devastating combo, and now Costabile has free run into that high ground. He has AC, he has Aegis. There's really nothing to be scared of, and he has a Swift Blink as well if he wants to jump in. Fortify not even holding back Costabile. And what do they do about this? Like, they've got Stone Gaze and Ravage. The issue is they can't go close enough to actually get a good Ravage off.
Costabile making very, very short work of the racks. Does run out of Chemical Rage though, so it does slow down a bit, but he has the Aegis. He's not afraid. Easy racks for SG Esports. Well, you know, John, I feel like he wasn't attacking quite fast enough with the Swift Blink. Maybe he should buy a Moonshard or something.
Yeah. A Moonshard, I'd say a Maelstrom would be easy value if you want to get some more damage out as well. Of course, he's going to have to wait for a slot to free up. Heck, maybe you just start buying Aghanims upgrades now for everyone else. That could be the way to do it. Give the Ags up to your Monkey King. 4DR is going to have the nice little statues nearby. And that's a really huge boost for the Monkey King as well. So that is something he could go for. He plays safe with a BKB, although Pingu...
Well, Pingu's been caught out. So is somebody else on the other side, but we'll look at that in a second. As Pingu is going to die. It's like Tavo did end up backing off. 25 minutes, 27k net worth lead. 4DR, he found Vol on the Rubik. Vol might buy himself some time. Boundless strikeout. 4DR should still be able to secure this kill. Vol gonna try for a Tiki TP. 4DR will wait for the last moments of that TP to get the kill. Does eventually get it though.
They're just styling. 4-38, 20k, 28k lead. They're scouting up top. Tingle King trying to split push still. Can't go out of this one.
Nope. See you later.
Orchid though.
I mean, I guess it's nice, but it's probably past the point of usefulness now. That Orchid.
Yep. Just too much to handle. They're gonna clump down bot now.
Serena being dropped straight onto that Medusa with the Spear and Scourge, but Duck, he's out of mana. The Stone Gaze being completely ignored. This is looking pretty tarn over as even the Rubik just stuns himself. Vol trying to back out. How does that spear not land? I don't know. Doesn't matter though, Tavo's going to be alright.
Oh, yeah, nah, this is... I mean, they're going to take this bot set of racks. The top racks are still safe, but the tier 4s are not.
And Pingu's gone. Tingle, I mean, what else can you do, right? You just throw out some trees and see what happens. He'll use the Orchid, but the tier 4s are under siege. Meanwhile, towards the south, Volt is trying to kill off this Oracle. KJ will eventually die, which is a good start, but how do you deal with this Alchemist later on? You probably don't, as the tips do come into KJ. They got him. That's all that matters. We got him, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the fountain dive.
Why the hell not? Fountain dive right onto Scourge McDuck. They just don't care. Costabile, he de-aggroes the fountain, and he will not survive in the end. He will indeed go down. The buybacks are going to fly out now from the cut as the spear does come in into the arena by Tavo. Tingle might just die immediately and does. And now the snowball out from Thea Lacour. So on the brighter side, there's no Alchemist. So they're not going to stick around to push the final tier 4 or the Ancient. Well, 4DR is. He might even kill Vol by himself, but Ravage is out. Does land on the MK with the Stone Gaze now from Scourge McDuck. That should be at least 4DR dead, unless the False Promise comes in time, and it does, but Tavo is going to be in danger instead. He'll go down. Lil Nick, still not out of the woods. 4DR. Oh, he's going to go down. Very, very nicely from the cut. Maybe a bit of a comeback starting. The tips are coming out again towards KJ. Not sure what KJ's done wrong, but he's getting a lot of tips here. Now, well, they get a few kills, John.
Yeah, they're defending. There's nothing to defend there. There was their last objective really is that tier 4 and their top lane. But SG Esports overstaying their welcome, get some punishment out. Still have the 35k lead though. So I think overall they're not going to be too upset about taking those losses. Teal the Core was trying to hunt down Tingle. King does not find him this time around. Tingle is going to be able to escape. And the issue now for the cut is how do they approach a high ground? We're seeing Scourge McDuck save up for the big Divine Rapier. That's the only thing he can really hope to go for now. Should have the gold in about 1,000 gold. So once you do have that up on the Medusa, there is some damage that can fly through. The question is, can she live through all the damage on SG Esports end? I think she's going to have to really watch that spacing out here for the side of Scourge McDuck. He's going to have to be really aware as to where and when he wants to pop that Stone Gaze, especially since you do have the Scotty up now in the Monkey King. They've got additional slow. They can mitigate some of the healing coming through. And, oh, Tavo.
Oh, misses the arena this time. Tingle doesn't have TP though. Does have it now, but it's way too late. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. They have the spear. Another nice pickup. Meanwhile, Volt in his own triangle, probably going to be picked off as well on the Rubik. Should eventually go down. Does. Into the Ancient they go. Right into the Radiant base. Aether Remnant actually missing from the Yules. Jump in, Costabile gets a stun off onto Pingu, but there's your Ancient being focused down now. You've got to stop Costabile somehow. He's going to try and fight a bit to make sure 4DR does not die. Scourge, he has enough mana for the Divine Rapier, but he can't get the Courier out there. In fact, the Courier is out there, but he's going to get it back now. Lil Nick is going to die before that happens, and the Ancient is still exposed. Costabile underneath the fountain is going to go after the Medusa. They're trying to burst her down, and they will get through the HP pool. And the Ancient is going to explode anyway. And KJ, he's going to get some tips on the way out.
Yeah, they played really well here on the side of SG Esports. The cut went for this really greedy draft. We expected Tide Hunter off. They didn't want that. They wanted to avoid the Monkey King in the safe lane. So they end up just biting off more than they can chew. With that Tide Hunter support, Pingu just couldn't do anything. From the laning phase into these team fights, you can't fault the guy. He's 0-13. He couldn't farm up for the Blink. He couldn't really apply pressure with Anchor Smash or Gush because it was a dual lane with Tusk and Oracle. Just way too much that goes on that lane that they couldn't control. Very well played from SG Esports, taking this one out domineeringly. No perfect game from any single hero. They did get picked off a couple of times, but you still take a massive 54-8 win, drawing out this first series here, Mike.
Absolutely, and with that second series, thank you for that, John. And we are going to move on to our third series of the day. Now that will be between the side of Team Dogchamp up against Ego Boys. Another very interesting matchup, and we'll see how that one goes. Of course, we are going to have a short 10 or so minute break. And it is MLP Dota and JohnXFire. We'll see you after that break for our third series of the day.